Hello, this is Laura Robinson from the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. It is March 20th, I think, 2024, and this is the Garden Network March video, I guess mid-March video. So I just wanted to show you guys a few things in the greenhouse before we head outside. We have started our tomatoes and peppers, and I have most of my tomatoes up. You can see a lot of these are ready to be transplanted because they have their true leaves, so that's going to be something we're working on shortly. I've had a couple of peppers which have germinated a lot faster than the other peppers, which I thought was interesting. There's a Buena Mulata, and I think that's one that I special ordered from Baker Creek. Aji Gustoso, which is a pepper that someone gave to me to start. And then, and my shishito peppers germinated really well this year, which I don't think they did last year, so that's exciting. And then I just have some other random stuff started in here. A lot of stuff actually that kids helped to plant at Battle Academy recently, so that's exciting. I think I had mentioned in a previous video about figs that I have available. A lot of the figs actually died when I transplanted them. I know I've read that figs do not like to have their roots disturbed, and I guess that turned out to be quite true, which I will, excuse me, keep in mind when I am doing this next year. That's definitely something I'll improve on, but I do have a handful of fig plants. So if you are interested in one, please let me know. And I apologize if you've told me in the past that you want one, but if you could just remind me, I'd appreciate that. And then I have quite a few things. I think most of these are still peppers. I also have some flowers that I've kind of been starting on and off throughout the winter, and a lot of things have germinated pretty well. The Tennessee coneflowers, Rattlesnake Master. What do I have over here? Some cosmos. I have a good amount of like bee balm that has germinated. So I'll probably be letting you know maybe in the next video or two if I have extra flowers to share, because I'm really kind of going overboard this year with the flowers. Okay, so outside, I recently got this green stalk vertical planter, and it was donated by the company because basically they'll donate to nonprofits, and you can go on their website and fill out a form. So if you're interested in doing something like that, I'd encourage you. I've seen a video of a woman who had really good success with strawberries in this planter, but she also grew lots of other things, herbs and lettuce, and actually there's a lot of things because you can see the pockets are really deep on them. So I'm excited to kind of try this out and see how it goes. I'm always looking for ways to grow up, and so that was a good option. In previous videos I have shared that we have a problem with a squirrel, and I've now seen our groundhog is back. So I have bought this netting, which has seemed to work. I just installed it like a handful of days ago, and they haven't seemed to find their way into it yet, which doesn't mean they won't, because they could probably just chew their way through this netting if they wanted to, but it's just kind of like that insect, or like it's more like a bird netting. The you know, you can stick your fingers through the holes. It's not super, they're not super fine holes or anything. But I was kind of running into the issue with these covers and it just getting too hot in there because it will trap the heat, and so I needed a cover that didn't trap heat. So anyway, this is one of the Asian greens that I've started. It's called Yokata Na. And as you can see, it's just starting to get little flea beetle holes in it. So that's something that I'll have to keep in mind. I've had that issue with plenty of Asian greens, but I do like Asian greens in the spring because they're just fast growing. And since our spring is so short, I like to try different Asian greens during this time of year. I have a couple of beds of potatoes, actually 3 beds of potatoes, and none of them have germinated yet. I tried a variety, and I know I've given some to you all, called Purple Viking, and it's supposed to be early maturing and a heavy yield. So I'm excited to kind of see what happens here, and also at other locations where you guys have taken some to grow. This bed of different types of mustard it's really pretty to look at, and it is kind of just going for it right now. We have this lettuce, which was given to us by a middle school, and it's called Bronze Beauty, and I started it in the greenhouse in December, and it is just it has grown really well for us. I have it in a couple of other beds, which the squirrel had eaten, or the woodchuck, but it didn't eat it down to the core, so now it's starting to regrow its leaves. But it's really pretty, and it's, like I said, it's growing really well for us. I have a couple of beds of garlic still growing well, and leeks, and this is a Chinese broccoli. I think it's called white flowered Keelan, or Keelan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I've just noticed recently, and I don't know if it's the heat, but some of the leaves are getting bleached out. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to fertilize this today to see if that helps. TBD on that. I have a couple of beds of Swiss chard, and I've also growing a chard relative called perpetual spinach, which is actually not spinach, it's chard, but it's supposed to do well a little bit better in the heat. So we'll see how that pans out. I have some onions, and I have scallions interplanted in there. This is another Asian green called Han Sai Tai, and this one is getting a little bit of flea beetle damage as well. This was something that the squirrel had nibbled on, so you can see there's just some stems with no leaves on them. It's another thing that's been nibbled. This is another new thing I'm trying this year. It's called Japanese mountain spinach. It's related to amaranth, and it's supposed to also be a green that you can grow easily in the heat. So I'm excited to see how this grows and kind of how long we can keep it going into the summer. Here's another one of those beds of lettuce that something nibbled down, but it's starting to regrow, and I have a couple different types of lettuce, and this is like the only spinach that I got to grow from last fall, but now it's doing really well. There's another bed of lettuce. My peas have been nibbled down as well. You can see here. So I'm gonna make one final attempt to plant peas, and if it doesn't grow, then I might just throw in the towel for peas this year. Oh, I have a bed which I would love to put blackberries in. If anyone has blackberries growing, and if you pull out, I don't know the correct term, if they're called suckers or but like on this raspberry, like it was just this part of the plant last year, and now it's growing up in a couple of different spots, and I believe blackberries grow the same way, and I'm not sure of the terminology, but if you happen to take any of those extra little plants out and you have any extra blackberries to share, I would love to plant some in here, so let me know. This is another bed of peas, which were nibbled down. They're starting to regrow, so maybe we'll get a little bit of peas, we'll see. And then I just have a variety, oh, actually this bed, fava beans, which I started growing underneath plastic, so I kind of did like a little mini greenhouse situation out here. Let's see, that was back in January maybe. And the fava beans started to germinate and have grown on really well. So I'm hoping that that's something I could do every year. I know fava beans aren't probably the most highly desired thing to cook with, but I do like to try them out because any way that we can get a little extra protein I think is great. And then I just have a variety of kind of other, these are another type of Asian green that I've kind of put around. This one is actually looking the best. The other places it's been nibbled on. And I think that is about it. I would be very interested to hear how all of your gardens are growing, and again, just stay in contact if you would like to get a fig, and let me know if you have any blackberries to share. I'd love to plant some. I hope you all are doing well. Have a good one. Bye-bye.